Let's talk about elegance. Elegance is one of those things that literally will never go out of style. And anytime you see an elegant woman, there is something to appreciate about her. And so here are 15 elegance tips or habits that have been completely forgotten that we need to bring back because my grandmother was doing it and yours probably was too. I know my mom was doing it. My mom is just a quick shout out to my mom. My mom literally is my role model when it comes to being a woman. This woman is the most poised, calm, but go-getter at the same time. Extremely respectful, gives to others, cooks amazing meals. She can really celebrate people. I mean, when my mom is in a room, solution is in a room. Like, I'm not even kidding. This woman inspires me so much to be a better person as I keep growing. And she inspires me to host better. She inspires me to give more. She inspires me to be grateful and just to be loving in general. Like, shout out to my mom. I know my mom watches all of my videos. Hey girl, this video is for you because you are actually amazing. Mwah. No, but seriously, like, my mom literally exudes elegance, okay? From the way that she dresses, the way that she speaks, the way that she cooks, the way that she treats others, the way that she works, the way that she just looks at life. It's truly a way of life that I aspire to achieve. So thank you, Mom, for all that you have taught me. With that said, let's talk about what are 15 elegance tips or habits that we have honestly forgotten in today's age, at least when it comes to the majority of people. A lot of the things I'm gonna list I'm doing, but a lot of them I am not yet doing and I want to start doing. Number one is definitely going to be sewing and being able to hem your own clothes. Like, why do I not know how to sew? I can definitely do the basics, right? If something is really, really wrong, but I feel like I should know how to excellently use a sewing machine and make a dress if I need to make a dress for myself or whatever, or pants or whatever. This is something that I'm actually starting to take really seriously, and I'm going to put my sewing skills to work so I can do better because I really want to get to a point where I can successfully make an evening dress or a pair of pants or a shirt or whatever I need. I should be able to sew. I remember growing up, we had these neighbors. They were so amazing. They gifted my mom like a bed set. It was like a bed sheet, the fitted sheet and pillowcases, and she sewed everything together. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. Like, I should be able to sew my own bed sheets, right? But anyway, that's something that we absolutely need to bring back. Whatever you want, whether it be a bed sheet or a new shirt, you should be able to create it and wear it ever so elegantly. Number two is hosting and being a good host. This is definitely something that I've learned from my mother. I think hosting is one of those things that really takes someone who is willing to give their time, their attention, their home, their space, right? Even to people that you're not as close to. I think that being able to host and be a good host, be a welcoming host, is such a beautiful, elegant habit, and it's something that is really special because you can't duplicate it. You can't go and buy a host, right? You can't go and buy a good experience in someone's home. So just being somebody who is welcoming, who likes having people around, who is ready to take care of their needs, those things are so kind and things that you really cannot buy, especially in this day and age where everything is convenient. We want everything at our fingertips. You can't have that at your fingertips. You can go to a hotel, right? But nobody's hosting you, right? You're just staying in that room. But when you go to somebody's home and they have a bedroom for you and they have the bathroom set up for you and they have everything that you need in the bathroom and they're nice and they have warm food in the morning, that hits different. And I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to do as an elegant woman. I grew up hosting, like, we literally never had nobody in our home, right? We always had people in and out of our home, and I have 3 sisters, so my parents already have 4 kids, but on top of that, we always have people over, and it's something that I really love watching my mom do. Like, she would get up earlier than everybody else to make breakfast. By the time they come down, breakfast is already ready, and I just loved seeing her serve people, and I loved seeing how people loved her because of it. And so I think it's a great thing to do, and it's a great habit that we should not forget how to do, because a lot of times you will make such an impression on that person's life because most people don't host with a loving attitude. So let's be those elegant women who do. Number 3 is being a giver. And what I'm talking about is, like, when you go to someone's home, coming with something. Always be ready to give something when you come to someone's home. Or when somebody's leaving your home, always be ready to give them something as they're leaving. And it's just a kind gesture to say thank you for letting me in your home and thank you for coming to my home. Like, here's something that you can take to remember me. Every time I do this, the person is so happy, but then also I feel so grateful that I'm even able to do that. And you guys, it can be something so small, right? I remember one of my friends came over and I made this thing and she really loved it. And then I took some and I gave it to her to go home with, and I just felt so happy. I felt so grateful. My heart was so full that I could do that, and she was so happy because she tried something new that she really loved, and she was able to have more of it when she got home. So it's those small things like that, those ways that you can impact people that, again, money cannot buy. I think a lot of the things with elegance that we love so much is that you can't buy elegance. You can't go and find it in the store and put it on, right? It's something that you have to work towards or you experience because somebody else is giving you that experience. So literally just always finding ways to give to people is so special, or even just giving just because. I think that category of giving definitely comes out of someone's elegant character, because you're not thinking about yourself. You're thinking about how I can, make somebody else's day, how I can make them excited to live life, right? Everything is not always about yourself. So just being willing to give and giving happily. The Bible says that we should be cheerful givers, and that's what everything that we give, right? Being happy to give is always such a beautiful thing, because the person is happy, you're happy, and you're not feeling a grudge, but you're also blessing that person in little small ways, again, that they cannot buy. And I think that is such a beautiful thing to do as an elegant woman. Number 4 is having an open home. This is also something that I saw my parents doing growing up. Both my mom and dad are such giving people, and we literally, like I said earlier, always had people over, and people would come over without calling us. They would just show up because they just love the ambiance that my parents created when they came over, because they were such giving people. What I mean by having an open home is that you're kind of always guest ready, always ready for somebody to come over, right? Always ready. You always have some food in the fridge. Your home is generally tidy, right? And anytime anybody can come over. And that's something that, shout out to my husband actually, because he's really good about this. Like, he is somebody that loves to be guest ready. He loves to host people as well, which I feel so blessed that that's the case for me, because I don't know what I would do like he wasn't. But he is somebody that's always thinking, like, let's make sure that things are together, so if anybody comes into our home, they feel welcome, they feel comfortable, and so we can also feel comfortable in our home. I think a lot of times people get accustomed to only cleaning really well when people come over, which is not great, because you want to be able to enjoy your home as well, right? That's also part of elegance, is just to enjoy your space and be comfortable in your space. So when I say open home, I mean just that, is always having a tidy home, being guest ready, and when the guests come, let them come in, be happy that they came. And there are gonna be times where it is inconvenient, right? But I really look at this as a way of service. I truly believe that this is a way to bless God, because you're blessing his people. Sometimes people really don't have anywhere else to go. Maybe they just literally thought of you when they were going through a really hard time. So you want to be able to be there for that person, or you want to be able to celebrate with that person. Whatever the case is, just having an open home that is ready to receive people wherever they are in their walks of life, to celebrate with them, to be with them through hard times, to pray with them, to eat with them, whatever it is. This next one is literally not my favorite, but it is such an elegant thing to do, which is ironing your sheets. Yeah, think about when you walk into a room and the sheets are ironed, and you see like those lines where, like, when you iron a little bit and you see it, not all over the bed, right? But you can tell like where like the lines were when they ironed the bed. I don't know, for me, it's so refreshing. It's so like, this is clean, this is nice. And my parents did this growing up too. Like, I'm not even going far. My parents did this, and I think they even still do it. They still iron those bed sheets. And I just think it's so amazing. It's such an elegant thing to do. It's such a clean thing to do. It's so refreshing, right? And also, my parents iron our clothing growing up as well. Like, we would iron every single piece of clothing down to the underwear and socks. Yeah, did it a lot, okay? But I just think in general, just looking sharp, making your home look sharp, whether it's your curtains or even your couch, your bed sheets, your clothing, it adds a touch of elegance. It shows a level of intentionality when it comes to really refreshing your home and having a clean looking home. This one I love a lot, which is having a Sunday's best. I love this because it's literally setting apart clothes that you wear when you go in the presence of God. I think that is so sophisticated. For me, that screams sophistication. Okay, it screams elegance. Like, Lord, these are for you. Okay, this is what I use to worship you. Okay, it's not just even about looking good, because that's part of it. We'll talk about that later. But it's also, I think, it's the intentionality that goes behind setting apart clothing that you use to worship the Lord. I mean, that is reverence for your God, okay? And I don't know if I have this yet. I have clothes that I tend to wear to church, but I don't think I have clothes that I have set apart for, the house of God. And I think that is so elegant. I want to get there. I'm going to get there. But it's something that literally our grandmothers did, right? They had Sunday's clothes. Like, they had a place where they knew that, okay, when I go to church on Sundays, these are the clothes that I wear. And I think that is so beautiful. And not even just, to have Sunday clothes, but I think when I think about the idea that you're saving clothing for your maker and you want to honor him in wearing your best clothing when you worship him, I think that's the stuff right there. That's beautiful. And I want to get there. So that's definitely something that we need to bring back, okay? Ooh, this next one is really good. Number 7, which is speaking kindly to your husband. Something I love. What can I tell you? I love when I see grandmothers, like when people will be in public. I remember when back when I was in high school, I used to go to these small groups in like church that I went to, and there were a lot of grandmothers. And I love seeing how they talked about their husbands and in front of their husbands. They never disrespected their husbands. And I think that is something that will never go out of style. I think in this day and age, the respect for marriage, or the idea of respecting your husband, has honestly gotten really confused, or just like dialed down when it comes to importance. I think it's really sad, because at the end of the day, a successful marriage is going to be successful because of how the husband treats the wife and how the wife treats her husband as well. And one of those really important things is respecting your husband, especially in public. And I love when I see these grandmothers just like you can tell like there's like a hesitation, but she will hold herself and then she'll talk about it later. I think that is such an elegant thing to do, because you're respecting your husband in public. And I'm not saying you're gonna, be quiet and never speak about it, right? But you're choosing to speak about it in private, choosing to, just do those kind of things in private, not fighting in public, not, being rude to your husband. I just think that is such a beautiful and elegant thing to do. And we need to bring that back. We need to bring it back, because it is just, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I love seeing a couple where you can tell like there is like a hesitance, there's a disagreement, but they still choose to honor each other in that moment and then talking about it afterwards. That is so beautiful. That is so elegant. That is so respectable. I love that, and we need to bring that back, because we cannot be out here yelling at our husbands in public. We cannot be we shouldn't be doing that in private either. But you get the point, okay? We should not be out here disrespecting the person that we chose to become one with. That is not okay. So this next one, I think is so beautiful and elegant, which is making home cooked meals, but even more than that is making meals from scratch. I'm not saying that everything that you make has to be from scratch. I understand we live in a hustle and bustle type of society, so sometimes you're going to need convenience, right? However, have 2 or 3 things that you know how to make from scratch. I think it adds such a touch of elegance, again going back to intentionality, especially some things that you usually buy, like for example dips and sauces. You'll be surprised how easy it is to make a bomb, when I say bomb, dip or a sauce that you're so used to buying, but tastes so much better and more fresh when you make it at home. So simple things like that, right? It is going to go such a long way. And it that's my husband. Why is he always doing this? He's supposed to be in my videos. You will be surprised how easy it is to make something like that from home. And also, it will be such a hit because people love fresh things. It tastes a lot better, right? And so when you just take the time to be just a little bit intentional about some of those things, it will go such a long way. And I think that elegance has a lot to do with being intentional. Are you leaving? You're not, like, you're being seen in the video. elegance has a lot to do with being intentional. So just choosing to be intentional about certain things that you make goes such a long way and truly contributes to you being an elegant person, an elegant woman. And I think those are some of the tips that our grandmothers used to do. Think about how much your grandmother made from scratch and how we just are consistently just buying things from the store. And we don't even know the ingredients in those items. We keep just buying them, right? But most things that we ate growing up, or what your grandmother made, she made things from scratch. So pick 2 or 3 things that you can learn to make from scratch and make those things so you can be intentional and more elegant as we grow in this journey. Number 9 is having a signature perfume. This is definitely something that you know your grandmother did, and your mom probably too, where she had that one scent that everybody knew that that's her scent, right? And I love different scents. So I wouldn't say you have to have just one, but I would suggest like having a perfume for a different season or switching it up every 2 or 3 years, right? But I think it does go a long way of having that scent that people know you by, because when you come around, they smell like they know that's you. I think that's such a beautiful touch, just to have a scent that you're remembered by. And it's funny because I did go through a perfume era where I was just buying different perfumes and trying different perfumes, and that was fun. But what I realized about that is I actually like a certain type of perfume. I like a certain type of like notes. So if I can just stay around those type of notes and kind of switch it up, you know, here and there, but still have like a flavor or profile that I'm known by, I'd rather have that than just like wear anything and everything all the time. That's just my personal preference. And I love that. I like the idea of having a scent that you usually wear and having a scent that you maybe wear on nights out and things like that. But yes, I love the idea of having a signature scent. And honestly, it puts away a lot of waste, okay? At the end of the day, you just want to smell good. You don't have to smell like 10 different types of goods. You just need to smell good, okay? So find a couple scents that you really like and maybe label them, one for night out, one for every day, one for whatever the case is. So that way you're starting to build a signature scent profile. Number 10 is having a stylish but modest wardrobe. What has happened to women's clothing these days, you guys? It is so hard to buy a dress with a slit that the slit is not all the way up here. It is so hard to find a dress that has, you know, a neckline where it's not all the way down here. I mean, literally, it's something that's so aggravating to me. Like, finding clothing that is really stylish but yet modest, of course it's possible. And I think that's something that we need to bring back, because my mom, my grandmother, when they were young, they were not, and my mom she still is looking stylish, okay? But she does it in a modest way. And I think that is so elegant. It is so beautiful to be able to look good, look stylish, but not be out here troubling the brothers, okay? Or the sisters. Don't be troubling nobody, okay? Walk around exuding confidence, looking amazing without showing body parts that do not need to be showing. That is so elegant. That is so beautiful. You don't have to show everybody what you got. Your husband can see it at home, and that's enough. But I love the idea of looking extremely stylish but not showing anything unnecessarily, right? So that's something that we need to bring back, is modest outfits, okay? Looking stylish without doing way too much and distract. So for example, like what I'm wearing right now, I have like a tube dress on, but I put like this shirt under it to layer it. But I feel really confident in it. There's nothing showing up here. I actually think that this layering effect added a form of style, something different, something a little bit edgy, something more interesting to look at. Meanwhile, I'm actually covering myself more. So find ways that you can be modest, but you can also bring your personal sense of style out through those clothing. It might take some exploration, but I think it's absolutely worth it, because you never have to worry, oh my gosh, is this hanging the wrong way? Is my butt showing? Is this showing? Because you know that you're always covered, but you still look beautiful. I think that is so elegant, and we absolutely need to bring that back. Number 11 is respecting men in general. I think this is something that should be talked about, because unfortunately, like through a lot of the things that we have done these past couple decades, I feel like there's just a general hatred for men in our society today. If you agree with me or if you don't, like, let's talk about it down below, because I literally have like seen that and felt that. Like, I just like, we just automatically don't like men. I think it's kind of weird. Like, what is going on? We should have respect for our fellow human species, right? We should respect women as well, don't get me wrong. But I genuinely feel like these past couple of decades, there's just like a broiling underlying hatred for men for no apparent reason. And obviously there are things that men and women have done to each other. So I can understand somebody feeling safer if a certain type of person is around, or not safe if a certain type of person is around. It's not something that we say directly, but I do feel like there's just this general animosity around men and less respect around men than we used to have. And I think that that is something that should be done. Men should be respected just like women should be respected. And as we are, empowering women, let us not be belittling men at the same time. I think women empowerment is amazing. We should be able to learn, we should be able to grow and make money and do all the things, but we don't have to step on men in order to do so. And I don't know why, I just feel like society has changed in a way that we just respect men less, or we don't want good for men, or we don't look at men as people that bring a lot to society anymore, and they still do. Let me know if you agree with what I'm saying at all in the comments, or if you don't, I want to know why. But yeah, I just think that we need to get back to a place where we respect men in general. We respect men for who they are, we love them, we support them, we nurture them, and we celebrate them. I think that we're doing that a lot less these days. Number 12 is speech, avoiding vulgar language, and also just taking your time to speak. This is something that I absolutely need to work on. Every time I take my time to speak, I feel like I'm able to communicate so much more clearly and just with so much more grace and elegance than I'm able to do when I'm rushing through my words, which is what I usually do. But more than that, also not using vulgar words. I don't know who made it cute or pretty to curse, but it has never been cute to me. Like, it is not cute to curse for a woman or a man, for anybody. It's not elegant for anyone to be out here cursing. A lot of people say that sometimes cursing helps them to really, carry out a certain point or bring out emphasis to a point. But I think to that, I would say we just need to upgrade our vocabulary if we're not finding ways to bring emphasis to a point except for saying the F word. You know what I mean? Like, we need to upgrade our vocabulary. And that's something that I'm trying to do. I have an app that helps me to learn different words every single day, and I just kind of check on that and try and learn and try to use that word every day. And we're reading books, reading your Bible, reading other books, listening to things, really actively trying to grow your mind and aggrandize your vocabulary goes such a long way. Number 13 is being a woman of your word. I have come to find that this is so powerful, especially when it comes to being reliable, being trustworthy, and being respected amongst others. Being a woman of your word is just so important. First of all, you trust yourself that when you say something, you mean it, and others will begin to trust you that when you say something, you mean it. And it just goes such a long way. So never make a promise that you know you cannot fulfill, because the more and more and more and more you do that, the less and less and less people have respect for you, but then also the less you have trust for yourself, because you can even keep your own promises, right? So being a woman of your word is such a beautiful thing, because when you say somebody yes, you actually mean yes. Like the Bible says, let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. Live your life that way. Number 14 is writing thank you notes. This is something that, again, I'm not good at. I am good at texting people thank you, but handwriting thank you notes, I think it's something that we should bring back. It's such an elegant thing. It adds a personal touch, and it adds, again, a layer of intentionality. So thinking about ways that you can show people your personal touch or your presence in the way that you appreciate them is such an elegant thing to do. And I think it goes such a long way, more than just giving them money or giving them a gift, because it's not always about what you can give people. Sometimes it's about who you can be to them. And a lot of people are not willing to write down a letter, right? So even doing that can go such a long way for someone, because they can see who you are and how much they mean to you. All right, number 15 is being slow to anger. This is such an elegant and beautiful thing to do. Being able to hold yourself up in arguments, whenever somebody comes at you crazy, holding yourself up, not reacting, being quick to listen and slow to anger, such a key factor when it comes to elegance. Because one thing about elegance, you want to be able to hold your composure. You don't want people to be able to like change your emotions any which way. You want to have control over yourself and over your emotions, even when people are being absolutely ridiculous. So really practicing to hold it down, you know what I mean? And keeping it together whenever people are acting kind of crazy, right? Being able to hold your composure and being extremely slow to anger and quick to forgive is such a beautiful thing. It makes you fun to be around, and it honestly inspires other people to do the same. Like, if that person did that to her and that girl remained like that and still forgave and was calm, let me try to do that next time, right? And honestly, it brings about so much peace in your life when you recognize that you are the one in control of your emotions, not somebody else. Somebody else may do something to you that completely deserves you lashing out on them, but not lashing out because you don't have to and because that's not who you are. That's when you step into having an identity that honestly comes from Christ. Because if you're able to forgive someone even when they're wrong, and if you're able to not lash out at someone even when they quote unquote deserve it, you have gotten to the point where somebody else does not get to change your composure because of their crazy acting, right? That is such a beautiful thing to do as an elegant woman, and I think that our grandmothers were so good at this. They did not, I don't think I've ever seen my grandmother once lash out. Like, she is such a composed woman. Like, it's amazing. I think that's something that we definitely need to bring back. So those are 15 habits that our grandmothers did that we absolutely need to bring back when it comes to elegance. I'm sure there's so many more, so please go ahead and comment down below what are some that you have. Let's chat below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a big like and let me know if this is your first time watching. Comment down below. I'd love to meet you. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well at the Other Brand. I post more content on there as well. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and remember, you are successful, yes, even right now. Mwah.